So it's just going to be a little brief video again this week, and obviously you can see what it's about. Them kind of autumnal transition fragrances, kind of my favourite part of the year really. Starts to get darker, get a little bit of a crisp bite in the air. Still quite sunny and that, and bright, isn't it? The leaves start changing colour and everything. Not that you can see that yet. So it's just one of them. Just them fragrances that we're kind of moving out of the fresher summer, if I sometimes wear them, into a more kind of cosier, kind of sweeter setting, isn't it really? So yeah, we'll just get cracking on. So first up is it's an old classic, that's Amouage Goldman, as it's called. This is one I often you can't help but compare it to number 5. It does have a lot of similarities. It's kind of got that lovely floralness. The lily of the valley is probably the most prominent note in there. A little bit of the ylang. There's a lovely dirty kind of civet and castoreum, I think, under it all, giving it this. At first it's like this kind of dirty growl. It's really hard to describe, to be fair, the way it kind of works. Throughout it, obviously mixing with the lily of the valley and the aldehydes and stuff, gives this kind of dirty clean feel. The juxtaposition's quite beautiful. And yeah, you know, number 5, you kind of know what this is about. This is just amped up and Amouage style. It's their first fragrance, I believe. And it was obviously kind of an ode to that. And it's kind of stayed the same over the years. I have smelt like a proper vintage version, but over the years it's kind of cleaned up a bit, I suppose. The more recent one, which I accidentally bought, a lot of that kind of civet's taken out of it. It's still there, but it's still just that beautiful golden bubbling kind of happy beautiful one. You can't really complain. It's like a very classy fragrance, and this one like is perfect for this time of year because kind of that golden hue. I mean, again, it's not the best of times to be walking around, but like all the leaves are golden and it's looking autumnal and it's crisp and it's kind of like that. And obviously the little kind of naughty touches, you get a lot of the animals before the kind of what's the word, hibernate, are coming out to feed and stuff. So you've got little animals hiding in the bushes and stuff, and it's a really beautiful one for this time of year. So that's Amouage's Goldman. Next is from One Way Bridge, and it's Haute Horopito, which was the most recent one. And this one is again, it's really hard to describe this. It really actually is. It's kind of apple with this kind of sweetness of raspberry, but it's a cooking apple to me, and it's more the peel and the outside of it you get, and then it kind of sweetens up as it goes along. But there's a lot going on in the background. There's this kind of burnt, smouldering kind of thing about it, and it's got all these New Zealand notes in it, which give it this kind of something really different with a kind of vintage touch. And this to me is kind of walking through kind of orchards, yes, orchards, with all the apples starting to brown and drop, and as the leaves go, all these multicolours and stuff. And it's really kind of nice. Again, I've never been to New Zealand, but maybe it's what autumn smells like down there. Although it's the opposite time of the year, isn't it, obviously. Anyway, that's Haute Horopito from One Way Bridge. Next is from Mabelle Aroma, and that's Phoenix Flame. It's one I've spoken about quite a bit actually, but this is the perfect sort of weather for it. Cool, crisp, and bright. It's basically very sumac forward, which I didn't know what it smelled like till this, and then obviously I've got some sumac, and it smells like that a little. It's a little bit it's a spice, isn't it? A little bit of a kind of cinnamon. It's not like cinnamon, but that kind of hint of that kind of sweetness in there with a kind of spiciness. There's lavender running through it. There's saffron, I think, as well in it, and it all comes together. It's quite big and warm, and the suede kind of envelops you. Also, obviously, with its name, you do get this kind of lovely, beautiful smokiness coming through it, and as it dries down, that kind of eases. You're kind of left with this kind of smoky-ish, kind of sweet smell, and obviously the lavender just helps add that little bit of fresh kind of sweetness going through it. It's a lovely fragrance, and this one is kind of, as we move towards, I mean, especially in the UK, as we move more towards November and stuff, that kind of smokiness in the air kind of works, but the sweetness from the, just as things start to die and drop off, it is a very kind of distinctive sweet smell. Look, mushrooms are out. It's a distinctive sweet kind of smell, is it, with a bit of earthiness and that. And obviously we're wearing things like suede and leather now because it's getting cooler and crisper. So it's a lovely one, and it's really unique again. If you get a chance, try Mabel's fragrances. They are really good. So that's Phoenix Flame from Mabel Aroma. Also, I didn't mention this at the beginning, I got a travel size gifted. It will obviously be in the notes and stuff, but Next is a proper classic, and that's Coco from Chanel. It had to be in here, didn't it, really? And it's, again, I've not put loads of clovey ones in here for a change, but it's the cloves, isn't it? It's got rose. Is it jasmine in it as well? But it's predominantly the spices and that kind of rich amberiness. This has a little hint of civet in the base, just gives it that kind of growl, and it's kind of like an evening scent, I think. This, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wear it through the day and stuff, but it's kind of got that kind of nighttime feel. People walking around at night, you know, all in their furs, all dressed up, you know, suit and tails, or like a big ball gown and some furry coats and scarves and that kind of thing. It takes you way back in time. Obviously it makes you think of the 80s, but it has that kind of nod to that kind of the 1940s kind of period, you know. People with long cigarettes and stuff, and the cloves in it they also add a little bit of a kind of animalic hint to it, but it's just so warm and cozy. And cloves to me kind of remind you obviously of this time of year because of cozy drinks and things like that. It's quite beautiful. I don't know what else I need to say about Coco. I talk about it so much, but it is this kind of, you know, being dressed up on an evening out, and especially this time of year, it's starting to get dark about 7 o'clock and that, so, you know, it will be kind of an early night out because we're getting old, aren't we, and that. It's a beautiful fragrance. That's Coco from Chanel. Next up is from April Aromatics, and I don't know why I've been wearing this one recently, but it's Jasmina. It's obviously predominantly a jasmine scent. There's other notes in it. I'm not going to go too into details, but the point is it represents this kind of, oh, look at all the mushrooms, perfect kind of jasmine, and it's got all them elements of the jasmine. It's, you know, it's got that sweetness, a little hint of that bubble gumminess. There's a kind of greenness. This will all be coming from other notes in there, and a kind of touch of the indolic in there, which gives it, oh, it's nice. But it's got this kind of, it envelops you and makes you feel really good, you know, like jasmine does. It just kind of slightly euphoric in that. And I think for somebody like me who hates summer, that kind of, the feeling of everything being crisp but light and the colours all coming through, it's how I feel when I'm walking. I can breathe. You know, when you breathe in and it's a nice fresh breath and you're not walking and sweating, walking's not a struggle and stuff. You do feel kind of euphoric being out in the nature with all these, look at all these shrooms. And it kind of works, and jasmine, we all know what jasmine smells like. It just makes you feel good, doesn't it? and it smells very, obviously it's made from natural ingredients, but it smells very, very real, like a proper jasmine. And that's it really. It's kind of the transition one, I think, and it's the happiness and the feeling of freshness and the calmness of this time of year that it kind of represents. So that's Jasmina from Maple Aromatics. Next is an obvious one. It's always going to be an autumn one for me, and that's Lalique à l'extrême. This one is slightly different. This one's got more of a kind of boozy aspect to it. It's slightly original in the sense that it's lots and lots of vetiver. Different types of vetiver though. This one's much brighter and it has a kind of almost whiskey kind of feel to it. It's very golden smelling, whereas the original's very dark green, isn't it? It still has all them elements of the greenness in there, but it's smoothed out, and I think there's benzoin in it, which again gives it that kind of smooth, warm, vanillic kind of coziness about it. And you do, again, it's all these, basically a sea of browns you're getting, browns and golden leaves and things again. There's a theme in this video, isn't there? But yeah, it's really nice and easy going. And as you know, Lalique fragrances tend to be really affordable and good. It's one of them that I know people will say, oh, it's a masterpiece and stuff. For what you pay for it, it's very good. Is it the greatest fragrance ever? No. And it's one of them that's kind of let me appreciate vetiver more and more. Which I do now, which I didn't when I first got this, which is why I didn't buy the original. I do need the original now because I like that kind of dank, dark, smoky woods kind of feel. But yeah, again, this one's much brighter, much easier. It's a really pleasant one. So that's Lalique's Encre Noire à l'extrême. Next we'll go for a gourmand, but a gourmand that I kind of like. And that's Akro's Dark. It's by far my favourite that I've tried from them. This one is chocolate, but it's not your sickly horrible chocolate. This is adult, grown up, proper chocolate. It's like dark cocoa. There's a little bit of hazelnut in there, a tiny hint of oud. This gives it this kind of depth and woodiness, and there's like, how would you describe it? It's like powdered cocoa, like a thick liquid chocolate. There's a kind of light fluffy chocolateness about it, which is like a hot chocolate kind of in there, and it's just cozy, and it's kind of, it's a gourmand but not a gourmand, if you see what I mean. Charlie! Yeah, it's got all these different elements of it, and it is a chocolate lover's dream, but it's not sickly. It's not like a, I don't know how they make chocolate fragrances, but they make them really badly generally, don't they? But this having such a darkness about it, and the woodiness and the kind of edge about it, it's just lovely. And especially at this time of year, it just has that, just surrounded by a cloud of chocolate and nuttiness and that. It's like you've had a nice hot cup of cocoa and maybe a little bit of spoon of Nutella in it. It's absolutely glorious. So that's Dark from Akro. And of course, finally, it has to be in here because it's when I start wearing it. It's the much hyped, much loved Angel Share, the original. I don't know why they've bothered with all these bloody flankers endlessly. Especially that last one was horrific, really horrific and synthetic. But this one's the original. Don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of a kind of synthetic feel about it. But it's boozy brandy, isn't it? It's drinking brandy in the woods, a wood hut. And people have been doing it for years. It's that kind of, the brandy soaked into the woods and that. And then again, there's a tonkery nuttiness about it in there. And a nice muskiness. There's a little bit of a peppery feel sometimes in there. There probably is cashmere or something like that in it. Not too sure where that is, and the sweetness of the hint of cinnamon and stuff. So it's just this kind of, well, it's an oak barrel, isn't it? Oh, look, there's a little pheasant there which the dog is chasing. It won't catch it. But yeah, it's just lovely. It's oaky, it's boozy, it's warm, it's cozy. The spices have that kind of warming you up inside feel, like having a nice smooth brandy does. It just warms you up and makes you feel happy and cozy, doesn't it? So yeah, again, I don't need to waffle on about this. I think practically everyone in the world has tried Angel Share or some version of, haven't they? So that's Angel Share from Kilian. Yeah, it was a brief one, I know. Need to get back into the swing of filming. This is the first one I've filmed in quite a while after the move that we all keep hearing about. I've moved. It's looking more homely and stuff now. It's been unpacking and stuff, so it's all good. Got bloody mushrooms everywhere. So yeah, that's it really. It's just them kind of transition-y fragrances. And I think there's a couple in there where you're trying to hold on to the kind of warmth and sweetness of summer, the flowers and that, but sadly they're all starting to go now, aren't they? Anyway, that's my top whatever it is transitional fragrances. What about you? What are you kind of wearing in this transition? Do you have particular ones? Do you have a kind of slow march towards the kind of richer, more autumnal, bigger ones, or do you just go jump straight in there? Alright folks, a boring video. Thanks for watching. Bye.